All right, Mike, it's a pleasure to speak to you today in Vancouver.
Thank you. Nice to be home.
Be home, yeah. Let's talk about StrikePoint Gold and the Hercules project. So you got a bunch of drill permits, or you got permits to access 3 different areas of your project last week. Can you tell us about that and why that's so impactful for the company?
Well, we think of the project in sort of as 2 halves, and it's largely driven by access, the north side and the south side. And so the north side is where there's about 294 holes of drilling. That's where we've got an exploration target somewhere around 800,000 to 1.02 million ounces in that half-gram range. Really good grade for Nevada. The south, it's a different access route. So you come around to the western side of the project, then circle around into the back, and then that's the area that really hasn't been explored. So there's a couple of past producers out there. There's the Como district. And then there's also the Healy-Logan mine. And we just got our permits to go exploring down there. So we've got exploration permits for what's called the Siren showing, the Pony Meadow showing, and then the Como Comet showing.
Okay, so those are 3 areas that you have not been to, in the past.
Correct. Not with either iteration of me having this project.
Okay, so now the focus is to go to the Como Comets target, the Sirens, and the Pony Meadows, and to do NRC program. Is that correct?
Yeah, and that's the goal. We're permitted to drill there, and they're actually quite interesting targets. So Sirens, which is the northernmost, there's an intercept, a historical intercept. Most of the drilling is in the north, but there's about 6 holes in the south. But there's 2 big intercepts. One is about 25 meters of 0.68, and another one is about 35 of 0.64. But they end in mineralization, like 0.85, 0.95, good gold grade hits. And so the previous operator was looking for a high grade target, and we're looking more for a bulk tonnage thing. So we don't really know if there's another 5 meters of 0.85 meters grams per ton there, or there's another 50. So we got to go out there and drill those targets and just establish what they are. The Pony Meadows target, which is the newest one that we just permitted, it's a ring structure similar to what we see up in the northern part of the project. It's about 2.5 kilometers, 2.6 kilometers long. You can pan visible gold out of it. So that's obviously a target of scale and of interest. And then the Como Comets target, there's the 2 past producers, Healy-Logan and the Como district, and we're right in the middle. So there's some significant holes that have been drilled on either side of it, and we've got that opportunity. We do control the Healy-Logan. It was abandoned, and so we staked over it, but the Como district is controlled by Newmont.
So with these new target areas, what kind of results do you need to see to be encouraged enough to say, hey, we like this and we want to test this more?
I mean, we are looking, this is Nevada, we're looking for bulk tonnage. They are going to be relatively, we're expecting them to be, traditional Nevada. So somewhere in the 0.5 to 1 gram per ton over a significant interval. There is always the possibility of getting into something truly special, a la like a Comstock, which is a big historical mine in the area. But we're setting the bar at reasonable. We're looking for open pit modern mining in Nevada targets.
Okay, yeah, the Comstock lode would be a nice discovery to make. Can we do that version 2, the 2025 version?
Yeah, I mean, if we pull this off, you heard it here first.
Okay. So let's talk about StrikePoint Gold. So this is a company that's been around for a while. You have a strong chairman. You're a strong, leader of the company with a lot of experience in the Walker Lane trend. Tell us about this company. What's the vision for it now?
Well, so I joined the company in the fall of 2022, just sort of at the end of COVID, and we made a decision to move into Nevada, into the Walker Lane. Walker Lane portion of Nevada, I've had success there. I had a company called Northern Empire, which is where you and I originally met. And we had the Sterling, and it was a lightning in a bottle sort of scenario where we acquired a project, put a little bit of exploration capital in it, and made a transaction very quickly. So start to finish was 16 months, and we tripled the share price and made a win for all the shareholders. We're building off of that in StrikePoint. I had a company in the middle. It was called Hercules Gold Mining. We ran the company up, and we had the Hercules Gold Project. and we did a transaction. We sold the Hercules for a $20 million US valuation. We sold it to a producer, and they went off and they stumbled. They got caught up in low gold prices, and they ultimately headed into bankruptcy and restructuring. We saw the opportunity, and it's like there's nobody that can do due diligence on Hercules like I can, because obviously I sold it to them, and there was a sort of a quirk in the way that it worked, that they could only accept up to $250,000 Canadian. So I sold it for $20 million American, and I bought it back for $250,000.
That seems like a good deal.
Well, it's a penny on the dollar prior to exchange rates, so it was a good deal. And you know, we've done work with it since then. We established that exploration target, which shows, you know, it's a typical Nevada gold project. It's not super high grade like what you would see, say, in Red Lake or somewhere in Ontario, but it's a big bulk tonnage thing. You're looking somewhere, you know, let's use round numbers, around 1 million ounces at around 0.5 gram. And in this environment, that works. You're dealing with like massive pieces of equipment that can move a lot of rock quickly. And if you do the math out at these $3,100 gold for quick math, 0.5 gram a ton gold in a 200-ton truck, that's $10,000 worth of gold every time. And you've got a lot of those tons to work with, and it's a lot of money. A lot of companies are making big money at those sorts of grades or are spending money to develop mines of similar grade in Nevada right now.
Okay, so we want to drill. We want to start to drill. It takes money to drill. So, so you know, tell me how you do it and how much capital you'll need to raise.
The great thing about being in Nevada is they've got a long history of RC drilling, so it's quite inexpensive to do. So you're on the order, and again, we're in America, so we talk about feet, but $20 a foot is a good number for RC drilling. So you can do it relatively cheaply. We can execute a program. We're looking to do that sometime this fall, but it's going to be about $1 million bucks is a good number. So we've got about that number in the treasury. But the neat thing about today's gold market is, I mean, we're brushing up against $3,800 gold. Stocks are moving. There's money to be raised out there. So if we do a financing, we're hopefully going to be able to pull it off rather quickly and get out there and get the results and start generating some more momentum into the company. What's
your favorite target area on the Hercules project?
It's like, there's that standard joke, you know, how do you say what's your favorite child? I only have one child, so I do have a favorite. But I would actually say Como Comets because the scale that you're looking at there.
And you've never drilled it?
We've never drilled it.
So there's a big opportunity there, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, you look at at that sort of a scale and strike length, and you know, you start bringing out your calculator and putting in funny numbers, you get to big numbers very quickly. And you know, the fact that you can pan gold out of the system at surface gives you confidence.
When you say pan gold, is there a stream, or are you just picking up dirt that's got gold in it?
You're literally, the way that the guys do it is they'll fill a 5-gallon bucket full of gravel, and then they'll go find a stream or do it back at the office where they
and gold comes out.
Yeah. So I can show you pictures of it.
Nevada's a special place. There's gold in the dirt. There's literally gold in the dirt. It's full of gold.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So is that where you go first once you decide to get out there and drill?
I mean, it sort of comes into logistics. Probably the way that we would do it is Sirens is the furthest in, so get up there, and that'll be the toughest one to access, and it's the highest elevation. So get that one done, and then just work your way out. So it'll probably be Sirens, Pony Meadows, and then Como Comets on the way out.
And what sort of time frame are we talking about here, you think?
I'm hoping to get it done. You know, it becomes where the market goes and what we can put together. We're permitted to do it. It becomes a matter of executing. But I'd say that we could be in there sometime this fall and getting results in the early new year.
That sounds good to me. Thank you, Mike.
No problem at all. Good to see you again, Robert.
Cheers.